Imagine this for a second. You do everything right. You find a great doctor, you have a totally successful procedure, and you're finally starting to feel better. Then, about a month later, an envelope shows up. You open it and your stomach just drops. It's a bill for $3,000 that you never, ever saw coming. How is that even possible?
Okay, let's get into this, because that whole nightmare scenario, it used to be a frighteningly common reality for millions of people. But here's the good news. Now there's a really powerful tool on your side. In this explainer, we're going to break down something called the No Surprises Act, a law that could literally save you from financial shock. And we'll see how it works by following the story of someone we're going to call Alex.
So this is Alex, and Alex did exactly what you or I would do. They did their homework. They make sure the hospital was in network. They make sure their surgeon was in network, to keep all the costs predictable. The surgery itself went great, and everything seemed to be going perfectly.
And then this shows up in the mail. A bill for $3,000. And get this, it's not from the hospital, it's not from the surgeon Alex chose, it's from the anesthesiologist. Someone Alex probably met for 5 minutes before the procedure and had no idea was out of network. Yep, that right there, that is the classic surprise medical bill.
So what exactly is a surprise bill? I mean, how can this even happen when you made sure to go to an in-network hospital? Well, it all boils down to a practice with a very specific name: balance billing.
So here's the way it used to work. An out-of-network provider, like that anesthesiologist, could charge, let's say, $4,000 for their service. Your insurance might look at that and say, whoa, nope, we only think that's worth $1,000. In the past, that doctor could legally turn around and send you a bill for the remaining balance. And in this case, that's Alex's $3,000 bill. You were just completely stuck in the middle.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? In-network is pretty simple. Your doctor and your insurance company have a contract, a kind of handshake deal on prices. But out-of-network, no deal, no contract. It was basically the Wild West of medical billing, and you, the patient, were the one caught in the crossfire, often without even knowing it.
But here is the good news. That has all changed. There's been a huge shift in your favor, one that puts the power back where it belongs, in the hands of patients, and it's all thanks to a new federal law. And here it is, the No Surprises Act. This is the absolute game changer, a law designed specifically to protect patients just like Alex from these financially devastating, completely unfair surprise bills.
And listen, this isn't some dusty old regulation we're talking about. This is new, and it's incredibly relevant. It officially took effect on January 1st, 2022. That means these protections we're talking about are active for you right now. This is your right today.
This quote just sums it all up perfectly. The entire point of this law is to take you, the patient, out of the fight. From now on, any arguments over payments, that's a conversation between the provider and the insurance company. You are officially no longer the middleman.
All right, so we know the law exists, and that's great. But what does it actually do for you? Like, what are your new powers here? Let's break it down.
The law basically gives you 4 key shields. First, you're protected from surprise bills for most emergency services, even if you end up at an out-of-network ER. Second, you're protected from balance billing for those extra services at an in-network hospital, exactly like what happened to Alex. Third, it says you're only responsible for your normal in-network costs. And finally, in some very rare cases where they can charge you more, they have to give you clear notice and get your written consent first. Now, a quick heads up, it doesn't cover absolutely everything. Ground ambulances are a big exception. But for these major situations, the protection is solid.
So let's bring this right back to Alex's story. Under the No Surprises Act, that $3,000 bill from the out-of-network anesthesiologist at an in-network hospital, it's now flat out illegal. That provider is not allowed to balance bill Alex. Period. End of story. I mean, that is a huge empowering change. So knowing your rights is step one. But what do you actually do if a bill you think is wrong still shows up in your mailbox? Well, here is your action plan.
It's a pretty clear 3-step playbook. Step 1, and this is always step 1, call your insurance company. You'd be surprised how often they can just fix it right then and there. If that doesn't work, move on to step 2. File a formal internal appeal with your insurer. And if they still deny it, you get to use your trump card, step 3. Request an independent external review. That's when a neutral third party steps in, and whatever they decide is legally binding.
Now, here's a really important tip. Do not wait on this. The moment you get a denial from your insurer, a clock starts ticking.
You generally have about 180 days, so 6 months, to start that formal appeal process, so you really want to jump on it quickly.
And if you get stuck or need more help, you are not on your own. Think of this as your cheat sheet for who to call. If the problem is really with your insurance plan, you contact your state's Department of Insurance. If the issue is with the doctor or the hospital, you go to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And for any general questions, there is literally a federal no-surprises help desk you can call for assistance.
At the end of the day, if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this: the system has changed. The law finally recognizes that you, the patient, should not be caught in these billing wars you had nothing to do with. You have rights, and you have resources to back you up.
Look, this information is incredibly empowering, but it's only powerful if people actually know about it. So think about your parents, your friends, your coworkers. Literally anyone could find themselves in a situation just like Alex's. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, who are you going to help by passing it on?